in the hills of California, a silent hunter prowls. Mountain lions, also called night screamers, are solitary, powerful, and vital.
But what happens when their numbers dwindle?
Without mountain lions, their mountainous ecosystem unravels in dangerous ways. Mountain lions are an example of a keystone species. But what are keystone species exactly? Keystone species are the glue that keep ecosystems together. Essentially, if a keystone is removed, it can set off a chain of events that can change an ecosystem drastically, and not for the better. But keystone species aren't just animals like the mountain lion. They can be any species, from animals to plants, to bacteria to fungi. Keystone species fall into a couple of broad categories, such as prey like Antarctic krill, which are resilient and provide a critical food source for predator populations. Ecosystem engineers like the beaver or the African savanna elephant who create, modify, or maintain the landscape around them. Mutualists, such as many pollinators that rely on certain plants to reproduce, and plants that rely on certain pollinators to survive. Plants, like the Sonoran Desert saguaro cactus, which serve as a key source of habitat and food for other species. And predators, who keep the range and population of prey species in check. Without predators, prey species populations explode, pushing out other organisms and reducing species diversity. This domino effect is known as trophic cascade.
Trophic cascades are powerful indirect interactions that can control entire ecosystems. Trophic cascades occur when the change in the population of a predator creates a ripple effect across the food web, affecting plants, animals, and even the physical environment.
An example of trophic cascade are wolves in Yellowstone.
In the 1930s, wolves were killed off in Yellowstone, causing the population of their prey, the Yellowstone elk, to explode, pushing the limits of Yellowstone's carrying capacity, and they started to overgraze vegetation like the willow and aspen. Without this vegetation, riverbanks eroded, and the habitat for beavers, fish, and birds vanished. When wolves were reintroduced in 1995, elk populations were stabilized, organisms came back, and the river stabilized.
So, preserving keystone species isn't just about saving one animal, it's about preserving entire ecosystems. I encourage you to do more research on your local keystone species and the threats they face, because by protecting them, we're ensuring the survival of countless other species and the health of our planet.